Good morning. So, for those of you that this is a new event to, and it may be many of you, it's one of my favorite ones. This is the Ugly Sweater edition. We're having our Ugly Sweater contest. But this month, we're recognizing, so there's almost 1,200 students in the building total, and you're not allowed to be a student of the month more than once a year. So this month, we're recognizing 9. Normally it's 10. But 10 out of 1,200, or in this case 9 out of 1,200, is very, very impressive. So it's an event we love to do, but I'll get it started with what might be a first. And unfortunately, I think Mr. Pike isn't able to make it, but we'll call Mr. Coiner up first, and then you'll get the theme when we call our second person up as well. Mr. Coiner.
Morning, everybody. I'm Mr. Coiner. I teach computer science courses, and Zach Pike is our student of the month. On the pathway, we have 3 courses: intro course, intermediate course, and advanced course. Early on in the intro course, I could recognize Zach's talent. He's been programming at home and is self-taught, intrinsically motivated. So right now he's in our intermediate class, and I want to kind of give you a little bit of a taste of what a typical conversation might look like between Zach and I. So right now we're working on a one-player tic-tac-toe game. So this is Zach's implementation, so he's going to give us a quick rundown of his tic-tac-toe game.
So whenever I click, the AI will immediately go next. So I clicked in this center box here, and you see the AI chose to go in this top left spot. So let's say I wanted to go here because I want to do a diagonal. It knows that I'm trying to do that, and it will block it. And it also knows that it can try to set up for a vertical on the left side. So then I made it go block it here, and it goes, oh, well, you're trying to do a bar across in the middle, and it blocks you. So it always tries to play at least, it tries to block you and it tries to win at the same time. It has the logic built into it.
Very nice.
So,
Sorry. Anything else there?
that's basically it. And then when all the spots fill up, it will say tie, X win, or O win, depending on the winner.
Let's see if he can beat the tic-tac-toe.
You want to play?
It goes, so good.
Yes. Okay.
So with this one, for those that aren't familiar with computer science, basically you're writing instructions to tell the computer what to do. So in this case, he's writing a program so the person, the user, can play against the computer, so the computer should make intelligent moves. So the objective of this one, what every student was trying to do, is you shouldn't be able to beat the game. So if the AI is, it's not true AI, but in a way it is. If you can beat the game, then you haven't, you got to keep working on your program. So we've been working on it for about a week now. Most of the students who are excellent students are going to take 4 to 5 days to complete this program. Zach does it in about a day and a half. And then, I ask him questions about the actual implementation, and he'll start explaining it to me. And within like 30 seconds, I have no idea what he's talking about, but a basic idea, but just not the gory details. So, and that was evident early on. So another example of Zach's ability is we have a competitive programming team. We go out and we compete in competitions in the region. It usually consists only of our advanced students. Zach, as a beginner student in the intro course, he was our top coder. Last year, he won the competition at Salisbury, which kind of makes him the top coder on the Eastern Shore. He finished 3rd at the Lockheed programming competition, which is an extremely competitive competition that's hosted by Lockheed. And probably one of the best attributes about Zach is often someone on Zach's level. It's difficult to put him with a student who needs a little help because they don't have the patience. They talk at such a low level that the student can't grasp it. But whenever I put Zach with a student who needs help, he's patient with them. He knows how to adjust his language down to speak to that person so they can understand it. So a lot of great traits about Zach, and that's why he's deservedly the student of the month. Congratulations, Zach.
And Zach, you're going to go over in that corner, go get a picture. And then at the end, we'll take a picture all together. I always forget this.
Should I get my laptop or just leave it there?
It's up to you. You can leave it there for now and then grab it. All right. So our second student of the month, and one of the reasons I said this may be a first, I think it's definitely a first for me, we'll have Sid Pike come on up. Get up here.
All right.
You ready? All right, I'll get it your way.
Okay, my name's Miss Kelly, and Sid wrote this speech and was going to read it, but this is a lot, so I'm going to read it. I'm the student of the month because I am a great leader. I am learning to advocate for myself. I like to challenge myself and push myself far. I am learning to multiply and solve 2- and 3-step equations. I come to school with a happy attitude and a calm body. My best friend is Kaylee because she makes me happy, and in the mornings when we get off the bus, we walk together. And when we have half days, Kaylee stays here, and that makes me happy. Kaylee and I both love Taylor Swift, and when we have Bible study, we sit next to each other. We have nicknames, we call each other. Kaylee calls me the science kid, and I call Kaylee Cat. I love being a sophomore, it's so amazing, and I am happy that I got the award today.
All right, can we get a picture? All right, from our math department, Ms. Plochuk, come on down.
Good morning, I'm Ms. Plochuk from the math department, and this is Liv. And I teach mostly seniors. He's cheering for you.
I'm a big Liv fan.
She's awesome. But there's a course called Probability and Statistics, which a lot of seniors end up just taking because they have to take a 4th-year math class, even though they think this group only needed 3 math credits in order to graduate, so you still have to take that 4th one. Now we need 4 math credits by the state of Maryland to graduate, but you still need to take a math every year. So it's possible students have all their math credits and they're sitting in my course. I try to make it as fun as possible, and it is not your typical math class. I think one of the first days within the first week of the course, Liv was one of the many who said, I'm not good at math. I don't like math. It's not my favorite subject. And I said, it's going to be okay. And then we pull out this notebook and we start writing and we define terms, and kids are looking at me like, what, this isn't math? And I said, I warned you, it's not math. And since the very beginning, Liv really just engaged with the course. If I gave them an activity, this is first period, all seniors, I would only hear her voice talking, saying, hey, come on guys, let's do this. They want it, and then she'd get her group to start talking and engaging while the rest of the class would sit there and try to sneak on their phones. And oh no, she dove right into the course. She struggled at first with some of the tests, but she's worked like crazy at it, and now she has an A in the course. And I could see her going further with statistics if she could, want to find a love for it, but I know she has loves in other fields, and that's fine. But, if they ever need a statistician, I'm sure Liv could definitely jump right in. But again, she's very sweet, kind, always engaged, positive, and it's just such a pleasure to have her in the class. Nice. Thank you.
All right, next up from our English department, Ms. McKenzie, come on down.
Yay, okay.
All right, as the good English teacher that I am, I have prepared a little something. So Mr. and Mrs. Sweet, I just want to take a moment to brag about your exquisite daughter. When asked to choose a student of the month, I immediately thought of Abby. This award for me is meant for someone who is a role model in class, is empathetic, assists their peers in understanding content, and shows exemplary academic skill and work ethic. Goodness, the work ethic. All of these traits describe Abby, and more. Her writing and artistic talents are mesmerizing. For example, she created the best one-pager I have seen in my entire career for our text of Mice and Men that I have proudly put into the classroom, and I refuse to take it down. And is why I highly recommended her for honors English next year, even though she's a little timid about doing so, but I know she can do it. You are exquisite, dear. You are more than prepared, and I want you to keep developing your craft because you have such talents and abilities that I have not seen in a long time. So, congratulations, dear, and it is very well deserved.
All right, from our physical education and health department, Mr. Wright, come on down.
Do you want to do this? Okay. Hi. Good morning. I'm Mr. Wright from the PE department. When it was my turn to give the Student of the Month, this was a very easy decision in my mind to choose Ethan Bennett. He came into class the first day, always in a good mood. He's always willing to do things. He never complains when we try like new things or different silly games that we play in class. Again, he just jumps right in and plays, and he encourages everyone. You don't have to ask him twice at the end of the class to help clean up anything if there's anything that needs to be picked up in the gym. Ethan, he takes that leadership role upon himself to just go and do it. He doesn't ask. And he keeps working hard. One of the really proud of Ethan, he played football this year, and talking to him at the beginning of the year, it didn't seem like he was getting the playing time, but I asked him how practice is going. He said, good, you having fun? He's like, yeah. Eventually that's changing, and then he started to play a little bit more. And I think my favorite moment was at the end of their last home game. The one play, Ethan was lined up at wide receiver. So Ethan's usually on the line playing offensive line, and he was lined up at wide receiver. And just to see like his teammates, like how happy they were for him just to get up. They knew he wasn't going to catch a pass. We weren't throwing the ball. But just for him to line up out there and just to see like the love and the care that he has from his fellow teammates, that just goes a long way in a young man. You don't really, it's a special man to be able to see that. And I told him the other day, I was like, I wish I had 30 Ethan Bennett's in my class. And I thought about like, no, because then like this one Ethan Bennett wouldn't stand out above everyone else. So my Student of the Month is Mr. Ethan Bennett. I would have thrown it to him.
Grab a picture over there. All right, next up from our science department, Ms. Carmine, come on down.
You can imagine it's really a hard decision to pick just one student because we only get to pick one a year. And so it's an extremely difficult decision. But my Student of the Month for this year is Nathan Ellis. I want to explain a little bit why. You've heard some of the same kind of things from other people for their reason for giving Student of the Month. My main reason for giving this to Nathan is his intrinsic enjoyment in learning the physics content. As a teacher, sometimes we come across students who might be more extrinsically motivated for grades or for GPAs. And sometimes it's the students that are the intrinsically motivated ones that are fine with learning being a little messy and not being perfect all the time that really like hit you in the heart. And so in honor of Nathan, I'm going off script today, which makes me very uncomfortable because Nathan's a risk taker. He's willing to try things different because of his intrinsic motivation, because of his joy of learning. And so I kind of wanted to honor you for that. I don't know if you remember, you probably do. The one main example of this is about a month ago, the students were tasked with doing a project that all my science class or all my physics classes do. They build a contraption to protect an egg from the top of this stadium, drop a raw egg that like drop it from up there and have to protect it in the collision with the ground. Do you remember that project?
Yeah.
Okay, the reason I remember Nathan for this project is because Nathan's project, when I saw it, like kids have parameters that they have to build this design. So when I'm checking out his device, I'm going, oh no, oh no, that doesn't look too good. I've seen this contraption before, it never works. And this shocked me because Nathan and his lab partners always understand like the nuances of like direct application to building things and to like physical application to things. So I was like, oh no, this isn't gonna be good. And so we went outside, we dropped our contraptions, and Nathan threw his. You want to describe what you did?
So the way mine was is that it had to fall in a specific way, otherwise the egg would break. So I had to put a spin on it so it would land exactly how I wanted it to land, so the egg wouldn't break.
So most students take like the risk-free path of building something that they've seen online or that they know is going to work and don't even ever test it out. Nathan built something with straws that was like this pyramid, and the reason that it has always failed in the past is it falls on that flat side. And he spun it so that when he threw it, it landed on the pointed end and crumpled and took the impact, so his egg survived. So we're discussing this on the way back into the building, and Nathan says, you know, I put the spin on it, and he wants to know why. Why does that spin on it keep it in that orientation? Going well beyond anything we're ever going to study in honors physics. He'll have to come back and study AP with us and talk about angular momentum, but he was interested. He wanted to know why that worked. And then in an aside, he made another comment on the way back into the building. Do you remember what that comment was?
I don't think so, sorry.
No? So it was something to the effect, and I don't remember the exact words, it was something to the effect of, thank you, I enjoy being able to do projects like this that makes learning fun. Something like that.
Yeah.
Remember saying that? And as a teacher, that's what we intend, like that's what we always try to do. Like try to make learning accessible, even when it might be difficult concepts, through like fun and engaging and hands-on and ways that all kids can learn. And the fact that he recognized that and stated that, it made my month. Oh, it made my year, you know. So for that reason, I want to thank you for your intrinsic joy of learning that just is wonderful. Thank you.
All right, next up from our social studies department, Mr. Lewis. I like the jacket, but I thought it had matching pants at one point, no? Is that another outfit?
Maybe one too many cookies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to call you out.
No, that's okay. Older.
Yeah, I get it.
Maybe I'm better. Good morning, my name is Mr. Justin Lewis from the Social Studies Department. I have the honor of introducing you to Sophia Hazard, my student of the month for, as was mentioned, for this year, basically, because we really only get one opportunity. I want to start by saying I have a lot of really fantastic students, so this is a particularly great honor for you, Sophia, in terms of the fact that I have two great freshman honors classes. There's quite a few number of kids that I could probably make a rationale for, but let me tell you why Sophia shines above that for me for this month. First of all, our first period class is pretty untalkative, they're not bored, or maybe they are bored, but they're definitely not, they're not particularly with it, my first period class. Yeah. That's not Sophia. She's ready to ask questions. She's very inquisitive, which you have to be in historical study, to U.S. history class, which I think is an old saying that history and social studies are like lost on the youth because I remember when I was younger, I'm a U.S. history teacher now, I'm a government teacher now, but I remember in high school it wasn't quite my favorite subject, so I get it, right? Sophia's always ready to ask questions. She's inquisitive. She'll wonder why. She gets the ball rolling, and that's a big deal to me, and to everybody really. She is the one that everybody's like, come on, Sophia, answer this question so he'll move on. And she's happy to oblige most of the time. I have to say like anybody but her, which is great. Aside from that, she's a fantastic writer. You clearly take a lot of care and effort into things that you do, which is really great to see. And it's going to serve you well throughout your entire high school career. The secondary thing, and the thing that kind of puts you up above the top, is Sophia also is in our ninth grade, she's 9th grade class officer for the SGA, and I hope you stay with it until you're a senior. Just a quick anecdote about I myself and Ms. Black are the freshman class advisors, and I had some experience working by myself with the class that just graduated from the class of 2024. So to have somebody that actually responded to my emails and seemed to really care about the thing we were doing, I was like, well, this is great. Because I love those 2024 kids to death, but they were, I don't know, they had to foot out the door or something like that. They had to foot out the door when they were sophomores. But we were designing a sweatshirt to sell to freshmen with 2028 on the back. And I went back and forth with Sophia via email a couple times, like, what about this? She's like, no, this. And I'm like, okay, well, they sent this. She's like, tell them to do this. So it was really great because she knows what she wants. She knows what's going to look. Well, I'm not the designer at all, by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm so sorry to tell you that it's actually mandatory for you to take AP Government next year.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't make the rules, so we'll be happy to have you. And Kent Island High School is in good hands with Sophia and students like her. So thank you so much.
And to brag on the Hazard family real quick, if you heard the morning announcements, Ryan, her older brother, does the Pledge of Allegiance and kind of the ending. And we're sad to see him. He's going to do, what are you doing, dual enrollment next semester? So he's going to college and we're not going to be able to keep him, so we got to bring somebody else in. But thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Yep.
I'm sad about it too.
Yeah, it's been fun. Visual Arts Department, Ms. Zerba, come on down.
I'm Estelle Zerba, and I'm one of the art teachers here, and my student of the month is Kennedy Povedo. I was fortunate enough to have Kennedy last year for fundamentals of art, and then again this year I was thrilled to see her again on my roster for 3D1. I don't know if you've noticed, but Kennedy's been the one recording this whole thing, so she's a very hard worker, multitasker we could say, but you know, Kennedy will, you know, she'll show me a visual journal and I'll be like, oh, this is, you know, this is beautiful. Do you want me to go ahead and give you credit for that? And she's like, oh no, I'm not done. I have to go home and do more on it. So she's a perfectionist and she does it because she loves it. You know, not really for the grade as much as just because, you know, she wants it to be really good. And her art reflects her and who she is, which is what good art does. So I have gotten to know her and who she is a little bit more deeply because of that, and especially having her twice. And I can honestly say that Kennedy is an all-around, overall amazing person. She's a senior this year, so I know she's going to be doing great things next year. And I hope she keeps doing some art. I don't think that's where you're heading, but I hope you still do some of it on the side. And you know, I hope that you'll come visit me because I'm going to miss you a lot. Now, do you have to take the picture of us?
Kennedy threw me off when she was sitting there. So I'm like, wait a minute, she's on my list and she's figured it out. All right, last but certainly not least, and believe it or not, I didn't even see you sitting there. I got a little nervous. But from our World Language Department, Ms. Nicholson.
Hello, good morning. I'm Ms. Nicholson. Abby is my student of the month for Spanish 2. This girl, she's amazing. She brings everything she has to class every day. If she ever has a bad day or she's tired, no one knows. Because she is working hard, smiling every day. She encourages her group mates to do the same. I've never seen her frustrated. She has a great way of working through things, and she legitimately wants to understand, and I watch her work through that to try to understand and help her group mates, and I just appreciate you for always smiling and working through things and encouraging everyone else. Thank you.
All right. All right, so that does conclude our Student of the Month ceremony. We'll let a picture there, and then everybody could gather over here to get a group photo. But feel free to stay around, grab some coffee, donuts, kind of have some nice time, and then eventually get back to class. Thank you all.
Thank you.